everyone, it's Carolyn here to share the January energy update, and we're going to take a peek into 2022. It is going to be extraordinary. I will leave you with that. Before we get going into the channel that they brought through for January, a little bit of a summary coming up through December, talking about January, and then we're going to talk about kind of what we see coming forward in the early part of 2022. But okay, they just said magnificence. Yep, exactly. So we'll get to that here in a minute. But thank you so much for joining me. Here we are at year end. Can you believe it? Wow, 2021 was, I've heard a lot of people talking about just kind of, as I'm out and about, just glad 2021 was over. It was just awful, blah, 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 that whole thing, right? Just how tough it was. And yet for us, many of us, yeah, it was tough, but it was tough on a spiritual level, right? It was tough with the things that we were working on internally. It was tough with the decisions we were making about relationships, about jobs, about work, about the shifts and changes that were coming and going. It was tough in that respect. It was tough, I'll just say spiritually, but it was beautiful, right? Now, we're not done with our shift and our change, but we have seen so much change in the last 2 years. I think many of you will raise your hands and say, yes, I'm right there with you. So needless to say, here we are at the end of 2021, and the new year is extremely powerful. We've been in these huge energies from, you can argue the fall equinox, but, it's just always pretty powerful, but it builds with this eclipse energies that we had in November, December, and then we move into the solstice, and now we're here at this powerfully significant beginning of the new year. Now, humans have really created that with the calendar, right? With the calendar of being so important for this new year. So there's a lot of energy around that and momentum. So that said, as we move into the new year, just know that we're at another highly energetic time for us and as we launch into 2022. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to read the channel. Like I said before, what I do is I channel in advance because I talk so fast and there's so much coming through. I want to be able to read it clearly and you to get all the nuances of it without me just rattling on and staring off into space, which is pretty much how I channel. And then at the end, I'll see if anything else comes through. It's pretty comprehensive though, and it really speaks to us individually and as a collective. So thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm Carolyn Zaiser. I'm a channel, I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels from the Light Keepers for your ascension and awakening journey support. So if you haven't yet joined my email list and you'd love to have a beautiful channel every week coming into your email box, look at the link below. It'll take you to my free video on how to create flow in your body for health and wellness. But basically what it does is it signs you up to receive that beautiful poetic message of support for your week forward. I usually send those out on a Friday or Saturday. So join me there too. I'm also back on Instagram. I've kind of had some fits and starts there because I just haven't had time. So what I'm doing is I'm posting many of the poems and messages on Instagram as well. It's under Carolyn Zaiser, just one name, Carolyn Zaiser. I also have Facebook, Purple Rain Healing, where I also post beautiful poems. Now remember, these are all infused with high vibration energy that will help you and assist you as you read those words moving forward in your journey. So again, more free content for you. All right, we're going to get going today. I'm going to read the channel and then I'm going to make a few comments at the end. But I hope that you take a few nuggets of things away for your journey and it helps you understand what is coming up in the new year. Okay, so here we go. But first, what I want you to know is they talk in their voice and then I come in with channeled information and they speak through me in my voice. So typically what they always do in these channels is they'll speak first and then I roll into my part where they just offer it to me and I channel it. And then oftentimes they will close out, which is the case here today. All right, here we go. And this is in the Light Keeper's voice. Don't you know where you have been? Now you come into the newest of the years in your way. Centering yourself, you do now as you've done so much work in time. All that is gold glitters deep inside your heart for yourself. And now you will create and so. This begins for you too, the gelling of all of this inside of you. You know and you feel what you wish for in your own time. And as you do this from the work you've done this past year in your way, understanding more of what you wish too for your own life, this then creates outside of you. and then you will manifest more in the greater of 2022 in your way. Big and small, oh yes, we say, nothing is left at the doorstep in your way. For you are creating the new life for yourself. So many decisions are in front of you, and you have made many already. But now 2022 is the breaking down further in your way. You may never think that it could get further away from you too, but it will, burning to the ground so much in time from the constructs and institutions and belief systems we say. You will see it even more from the mountaintop in your day, for you have climbed up, and now you look over the lands in your way. You see it and you feel it, and oh, the fires are burning. And you're on the mountaintop from all of the work you've done. Sometimes you slip down a bit in your way, but you climb back, oh yes you do. And now what you have worked on deep inside of you and seen and known and shifted will come to fruition in a new creation in time. For this is how the collective will create in the year of 2022, the greatest of change you will ever see in your day. And this will continue, launching off in the springtime, the early of, we find. So know what you see for yourself, hold strong and fast inside, we say too. Center in yourself and know all of the power is within you in time. Nothing on the outside for you are breaking through the gateways of understanding how life is lived and to be built in your day. What reality really is too, for it is all of what you construct deep inside of you. And you will see it as you raise your vibration continually in time. You are being levitated by the energies that have come in your way, brought about to help you float through these days in time. But yes, you will start creating even though you see what is happening at the doorstep in your day. For you understand it now. The greater of the breaking down is now this year in time. Do not turn back and look over your shoulder. Remember Lot's wife, we have said many times in your way. For it is real and true, and it was all vibrational back then in time. And of what you wish to focus on. Create your own vision deep inside and keep moving forward. For things will continue to break down too. But the greater of the glory is inside of you. Don't lose sight of it. You know who you are, and you've done the work, and you've seen it too. The magic that surrounds all of you. And when you are able to separate yourself from the others today, but live in harmony with them, this is the greater of you. For it is not about you leaving the side of others. It is about creating the vibration that is lasting, where you can work with others in the collective, not escaping and leaving and running away and hiding in time. It is about what you've created inside that will allow you to withstand all that surrounds you. Oh yes, you have become and will even more the observer to what is going around you in your day. And yet you will create from what you have inside and what you have found over these past years in time. You know it and you feel it. You don't understand how it will happen, though, in your day. But stay the course as you center on the practices that you know and have been doing and making decisions on in your life, confronted with so much in your time. For the last of this is dropping from you like the heat shields from the rocket that are no longer needed. For you will have reached out past the atmosphere. This is the year where the launch you have made, you let go of the heat shields that are no longer needed for you. And those are the things that do not serve you in your day of your life, whether it be relationships, the work you do, or others you are around in time, or more. And now you will reach past the atmosphere, and looking back, you can see it all, but you are still connected in your way. You have created what we call the bubble, where you know how to operate with others who are still in their mind in the 3D way. Oh yes, we say you will feel it, and you will know it, and you will be able to stay strong through all that will come tumbling down around you. So know that this is the year of the greatest change ever in humankind. And then I got super chills, and I said, oh my gosh, I have chills. And chills for me are a massive confirmation of what was just said. And then the light keepers say again, and you are ready and prepared. Continue to do the things you have done too, and tighten in the things you know that are good for you in your way. Centering in yourself, Hold on for the ride of your lifetime, we say too. For this next month is to center and ready yourself for the rocket launch of all time. For you are ready to blast through the atmosphere in your day. But you will see from on high how much you will have advanced in time and made the difference for the collective. For remember, everything you do is magnetic and is offered to the others. For all the work you have done as a collective in time is now reaping rewards, even though it may not look like it worldwide in your day. But it is, and yes, and oh, you'll find your life will change to what you wish it to be in time. And now, for the rest of this until the very end, I speak, and they're channeling through me. So I say, okay, so what you're showing me, we need to talk about this because you're showing kind of a different metaphor. So last time we talked about the power of the eclipses and the solstice energies, and now we have our New Year energy. So what we showed for December, as a summary, we had seen us on this wave that just continued. It was a wave of water from the ocean. It was the eclipse energies, and it was a wave of energy that we were just riding on our surfboards. There we were, on top of the surfboard, on the wave, riding, all on our surfboards. And it wasn't ending. We were just continuing to go over along with the wave. And we're on top of it. We're not under it. And then we got slingshotted out, if you remember. And then I didn't see anything after that. We just got shot out with all this energy. Well, that was the solstice. That's that energy, that cosmic wormhole we've talked about, because we're also entering this cosmic gateway through the solstice energies that began over these last couple of weeks. This is the slingshot that we're talking about, moving us dimensionally. And we haven't talked about anything after that. But what I'm being shown is this is what launches us past the atmosphere as such, the atmosphere. So we have a bit of a new metaphor moving into the new year, and we've used the rocket booster before. But what we're showing, what you're showing is us being rocketed off past the atmosphere of Earth. And as we're out there, we're now floating in the gentleness. And that's because we've gotten past the Earth atmosphere where we're shaking and quaking. And now we're floating. But now you're showing me, okay, this is funny because sometimes you use these metaphors because there are actually messages in them. If you've ever watched the Avenger movies, the Marvel movies, okay, now they're showing Captain Marvel where she flies up to the sky and stands strong and tall with all the light around her. She was able to look back down. And now they're showing all the Avengers coming back into Earth. Whoa, I have so many chills. Oh my gosh, I have so many chills. It's like we built the strength of who we are as light workers. We're the Avengers and we're coming back in. And we're able to see the bigger picture. Wow, I have so many chills. We just blasted through the atmosphere. We see what's happening up there. And we understand it now. But we've built ourselves so much more fully. And yes, we continue to do that. But we built ourselves to one degree or another. We are all at different stages, but light workers in general are rebuilding ourselves, reclaiming ourselves. And the front line is true and strong. And now, as you might see it in a Marvel or Avenger movie, we're all up in the air and we're ready to shoot back down into Earth. Because this is 2022, where we will be creating from what we have built of the deep inside of us. We're not leaving the people around us. It's just a different vibration, traction of different people. That's why we're able to exist with them. And we know how to manage our own energy. We're starting to understand how to be the observer. We're able to impact them. But they're not impacting us in a negative way. And that has been a learned process. We'll all eventually get to this stage. But 2022 is this massive wave of light workers that are looking outside the Earth and shot off as the rocket and gone through the atmosphere. And this is the metaphor. Looking at ourselves, we're bright, we're light, we've done all this work, and now we're ready to come back in. Oh my gosh, I have so many chills, such a confirmation. And that's a metaphor for us now. Many of us shifting and changing and gelling in January with all of this. We may not know exactly what it is, but I'm telling you, we're getting ready. We're ready. And then we come back in. It's like we've rocketed off. We've gone off into the atmosphere. And now we see who we are. And we are feeling strong in ourselves and are going to continue to grow. Even though what we're going to see off to the side is the breaking down further and further of the old constructs, of our old ways that are too heavy now in these Aquarian age energies. And you could argue it's destruction, but the growth that we've had counters the destruction, if that makes sense. So we're coming back in. Many of us now are seeing how we fit in, or possibilities of how we fit in into 2022, into the collective where we have been so isolated for so long. And remember, we come in waves, we come in stages. So not all light workers are going to be at this stage, but you're going to be pulled along by the front lines who are now coming back in, creating, not looking off to the side, to the old. So those light workers have their blinders on because they know what they're needing to do. They know what they're working on. They know what they're passionate about. They know they're deep inside. And that's a continuous process, I will always say. Because remember, we've talked about this. It's all about this self-care foundation we create. We continue the self-care routine. We continue our routines that got us to where we are. We don't drop those off. Those are what keep us going. We also keep our energy field clean and clear. So again, we are ready to now move forward. This is such a powerful time. I'm seeing such power. But we can't get dissuaded. I keep hearing the words dissuaded. We can't get dissuaded by what we see out there. So again, it's a step your toe in, but this is probably one of the most powerful years we're going to see, and where we will not recognize ourselves as a collective, as a society, as individuals at the end of the year of 2022. There's so much brightness, there's so much light. It literally is like we're coming through the atmosphere that breaks through final Pisces energy, the old stuff, breaks that down further, turning things inside out. And we're coming into the Aquarian age energies as we've talked before. And what I'm showing is, wow, now you're showing, wow, it's like two waterways. Okay, this is a different metaphor. Two waterways that are coming together, converging. Oh my gosh, I have so many chills. And the waterways are having to blend in with each other as they flow into the same body of water. So what we've got is we've got Pisces age energies flowing down one river. We've got Aquarian age energies flowing down the other. Oh, and what I'm showing as these two rivers converge, they're different colored water. But what happens is the light of the Aquarian age energies overtakes. But it's a blending. So we're going to see still this Pisces age energy, this blending, but it dissipates. It eventually dissipates. Not muddy water anymore. It's not muddy water. It's this beautiful crystalline light water that comes from the river of the Aquarian age energy. So when you think of two rivers with totally different kinds of water coming through them, and they converge, that's what's going to happen. We're going to see this convergence. This is what's happening right now. We're seeing the convergence happening with these times that we are in. And this is where the rubber meets the road, and we're ready. It's like we're standing at the ready is what you just said, standing at the ready. We have no fear. We know where we are. We've worked on ourselves. We continue to work on ourselves. We continue to grow. We know what no longer serves us. We've done our clearing and we've done our work, but we see from afar now. We know our power. We start to understand where our focus is individually, whether it be as simple as something you're doing with your family or with work or whatever. It can be anything, but it's what you have built on the inside that you were gelling with in January. It doesn't mean you have to make a decision. This is all going to happen from the work you've done. So we want to stay in flow. We want to surrender. We want to live from passion and inspiration. This is all coming to you. You're closer now than you've ever been to being able to just know, because the energies are helping you. They are uplifting you. And then the work you are doing couples with that energy and allows you to be closely connected to your higher self, to the signs and messages, to being led strictly by your higher self, not your ego. That's the key, and that's the looking down from above, having rocketed off past the atmosphere, looking back in as the Avenger. I know we're using fun metaphors, but as the Avenger and ready to shoot back into planet Earth, because we're not leaving. Remember that. We're creating anew, and you're strong, and you're true, and you know why you're here. You know why you're here. Again, even if you're just starting to get this idea, you know who you are, you're doing the work, you've done the work, this makes sense to you. And you're going to continue to patch holes, and you're going to continue to have things that come your way, but this is the time of massive strength and growth where rubber meets the road in 2022. Things get easier to deal with as you are more led by your higher self. But we're going to see a massive shift in the collective. Worldwide politics, starting in late winter, early spring. I'm hearing countries shifting and changing. I'm hearing massive amount of movement of humanity. I'm hearing the earthquakes and shifts. Institutions will be questioned and brought to their knees. Uprisings will continue, but they will grow in nature and force, for it will not be stood for any longer. Politics will shift and change. Walls will come tumbling down. False faces will be seen. The veil is becoming thinner. Reality as you know it will shift and change. The walls come tumbling down. Okay, now you're showing the Wizard of Oz. All right, we're starting to see this, the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, and you're talking about the false face. Yes, the false face behind this. If you know the Wizard of Oz, and this is the curtain being pulled back on the wizard. So reference the Wizard of Oz. We have no need for fear. We are so strong. We are so strong as a collective. And remember, even those who don't seem like they're waking up, they're waking up. They just don't know it. It's all in stages. It's everyone who has shifted and changed. Everyone has shifted and changed these last 2 years. And this year, we didn't expect this to happen, right? We thought we're coming out of 2020, but now we've broken out further in 2021. We've learned and we've grown. This is not a short-term process. We've grown in who we are in 2021. Get ready. You're going to be stronger. You're going to feel more. You're going to know more. And it's a collective situation. You're linked in arms with other light workers. Even if you feel like you're still sitting at home alone, you're not. This is energetic. Remember that you can connect into the collective of light workers in your meditation, in your breath work, in your mindfulness. This is really important, is what you're showing me. Connected to the collective of light workers in your meditations and your mindfulness, and stay centered in yourself. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish this up here. But what we want everyone to understand is right now with January, I just see this gelling. Like there's a lot that's coming together. It's like all that has been known and done and said. A lot of people, a lot of frontline light workers are ready to roll, is what I'm hearing. And it's not like forcing to know what you're going to do. Again, you've blazed this trail through the jungle and now you're ready to walk this path. But you're all shielded up. You're all ready to go. You're like a warrior. You're ready to go, and yet you're the warrior of light. And so what's going to happen in January? More decision-making, gelling, clearing out remnants. It's less the massive big stuff. Remember, this is what we see for this first stage, and the rest of you will follow. We are gelling. It's almost as though some of your plans will be solid, some of the initial stuff you're going to be doing, and you're just not going to look over your shoulder. You're going to know what's happening, but it's not going to affect you. You're going to keep moving forward because you know that everything is created from within and that we manifest it from within. And within what you're creating for your own life will be manifested throughout. Because nothing but love and caring and kindness vibration can stand in these new era energies. And as we each do this, the strength of us as light workers will reap rewards across the collective. Wow, everybody. Let's do a final message. Do you have anything you want to say at this point in closing? And then the light keepers say, hold fast and true to what you have worked on, we say too. For you have turned into the light body in your day. The energies are ripe for you now, for you are more connected to them. You flow along more easily with the energies, and yes, they are strong, and they will grow stronger in time. But because of who you are and what you have done to help your body, mind, and soul, today of creating the foundation so that you can ride these waves of energies more easily too. And so that the energies can abide in you too, we find. You have matched their vibration. So know that we are here by your side. Call upon us, your angels and guides, for we are here and ever in time, helping you along. Never alone you are in your day. We applaud you for the work you have done. And now this most momentous time of the earthen ways are in front of you. Just know that you will have never seen a more energetic year in your way. You are prepared. Oh, yes, we find the great warriors of light you have come to be in time. Okay, so that's a Lightkeeper's message for us. When I finished this, I was filled with so much energy, so much hope, and so much just feeling like we're coming as a collective of light workers, particularly those frontliners, into our true power. We're going to continue to grow. This process continues. But this is really where, like they said, the rubber meets the road. We're going to start to really be seeing how the work we've done inside and what we know we want starts being manifest out into creations that ultimately are building the new earth. All right? Oh gosh, I have so many chills right now. Whew, okay. Oh, they just said more than you know. You reap what you sow. More than you know, you reap what you sow. Oh, that makes sense because we just sowed all of that inside ourselves and now we're going to reap it. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Oh, wow. Okay, so needless to say, that's where we're at. We're moving forward into the most brightest of times. And yet at the same time, if you want to get stuck in the muck and you want to go read the news all the time and see everything that's happening out there, you're going to get sucked back in. But the thing is, we're super strong now, right? These frontliners, those of us, that first wave, again, we're all going to do the same thing. We're coming in waves. This first wave is showing us how this is happening. We're able to transcend the things that we're seeing breaking down because we understand this process. We know this has to happen. We have to break it down. And remember, the other thing we've said too, it doesn't mean every single thing is crumbling to the ground immediately. A lot of this is a slow, smoldering fire. And also, lots of places are going to be built from the inside out. There are light workers in these places that are of the oldest energy on Earth, but they're creating from the inside out. So try to take a look at the big picture of what's going on as you move forward this year in 2022, the big picture of the collective. We tend to get really wrapped up in our own journey, but if you can see how this is starting to transform and we're seeing the breaking down, but the rebuilding at the same time, you're going to know, you're going to see. And it's all coming from you and all that work you have done, every single one of you. Even if you feel like you did something tiny for yourself this year, it matters. It matters because you're matching the frequency and the vibration of what's coming to us. And you're continuing to move up in vibrational frequency. And there are certain things that can't stand any longer at certain vibrations, which is why you're going to be living from a different space and bringing that in like the Avengers they showed, zooming back into Earth to save the day. So I hope you've enjoyed this message today. I'll remind you of my services, purplerainhealing.com, where you can see everything that I do and offer all channeled messages in every one of my services, whether you want distance energy healing, channeled personal messages on the phone, or in a document form, or with a one-on-one mentoring, which is super powerful and allows you to work with me on a regular basis to continue to update on your journey and work with you on whether you're building a business, whether you're building a new life, whatever it is in your journey. We will channel information for you through that on a regular basis to help assist you forward. And then we have the soul journey with Celeste and myself, where we do an overarching look at your entire soul journey, giving you an umbrella view so you really have something to take forward in understanding more of the detail of your individual life. With that today, I thank you so much for journeying with me, and I wish you a wonderful start of 2022.